Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Embracing Your Essence on Lilydale Radio. As you are joining in, absolutely do say hello. I've got a great show planned for tonight. So much good information to help us get more peace in our lives. And we'll also be doing some mini readings and intuitive guidance and all of those things. And as you are joining in, I'll go through the details as I always do. As I said, I am Colleen Vanderzyden. I am a registered medium in Lilydale. I'm also a certified empowerment coach. I am the author of this book, Courageously You, Magical Mind Games to Get Unstuck and Reignite Your Joy. I love teaching people and helping people. And the name of this show is called Embracing Your Essence. It's all about you, who you are, and embracing who you are, your truth, your essence, your soul. And to that end, every Tuesday, I usually am here and we talk about different strategies that can help you step into your power, feel better, handle challenges, problems, whatever it might be. So as you're joining in, do say hello. You can learn more about Lilydale at lilydaleassembly.org. That is the official website, the official Facebook page, Lilydale Assembly Incorporated, and my website, ColleenVanderzyden.com or BeCourageouslyYou.com. They go to the same place. And my Facebook page, Colleen Vanderzyden, Medium and Empowerment Coach. And make sure you're following me here on this page. So we're going to have some fun tonight. I can hardly wait to get going here. So hi, Jade. Nice to see you. Hi, Martin and Hillary. And hi, Ashley. So we are, as I said, we are going to be talking about one particular strategy that can help you handle life's inevitable ups and downs. Because I was talking to Ashley the other day, actually, and I said, it seems like something bad happens and then something good happens, and I feel so up and down with everything that's going on. And I really started thinking even more about how can we maintain inner peace when there is so much happening around us. So I have this one idea we're going to talk about, and then we'll get right to doing some intuitive guidance and whatever else you want to know. Hi, Evelyn. Nice to see you. And I do want to mention, too, at the top of this post, you'll see my freebie up there, my free gift, The Empowered Path to Inner Peace, 9 ways to create inner peace, even in chaos. And you can just download that and use it. It helps you stay in your power. It's really important. I'm going to make another free gift for you guys. And I was just saying to myself, I wonder what it will be. And then I thought, I'll ask you, what do you want help with? What do you want to know about? And maybe I can make you a little ebook or something that can help you. So write it in the comments if you think of something that you'd like me to create that would help you live your best life. Hi, Tina. Nice to see you. And so here we go. Let's see. Make sure you're on my page. I almost forgot this part. Make sure you're on my page, Colleen Vanderzyden, Medium and Empowerment Coach, if you're going to want to ask a question later or make a comment or ask for a mini reading or something like that. So make sure you're on my page. So let's get to it. We are going to talk about this very important spiritual concept. And what it is, back it up again. Have you noticed yourselves, the ups and downs? Have you noticed all this background noise? There's just so much happening around us. In some ways, I feel like I have too many balls in the air, like I'm juggling and I can't keep all my balls up there. Like it's just too hard to do. And there are times where I think many of us are feeling unbalanced or overwhelmed with our situations, especially because things seem to be rapidly changing. And like I said, 1 minute we feel great and the next we don't. So how can we live like that? How can we live with peace even when it seems like we're surrounded by a tornado of problems? So over the last couple of weeks, we have talked about lots and lots of ideas to help you have inner peace. You can find those previous radio shows on my website, ColleenVanderzyden.com, or YouTube, Colleen Vanderzyden, and you can read about them. I'm not going to go over them, I'm not going to review them, so if you want to know more, you can go find those. Today, we are going to talk about non-attachment. Okay, non-attachment. This means living without being attached to wants and desires. Now, here's a fine point with this. We all have wants, we have desires, we have goals and dreams, and they are important to us. And we want to use them to help us move forward, to make choices as we go into our best lives. But what can happen is that we can become so attached to certain things that we're emotionally entangled. So if we don't get the things we want, we get upset, frustrated, angry, we worry about them, we create stories about how unfair life is or how we don't deserve these things or whatever. When we're attached to certain things, and I'm going to go over a bunch so you can see how frequently we get attached to things. When we're attached, you'll notice that you have these frequent emotional ups and downs. Okay, you'll be all over the place. You'll be having lots of reactions. Hi, Jackie. When we are non-attached, we still have those wants, desires, and goals. We still have them, but we're not emotionally invested to them to the point where we're always reacting, taking things personally, feeding our fears or self-doubt, making ourselves feel badly, complaining about how difficult things are. This emotional attachment disconnects us from our power. It disconnects us from our peace. We become ungrounded and unbalanced. Buddhists believe that the source of all pain and suffering is attachment. And as I've been thinking about attachment more and more over the last few weeks, I have found that there are so many things we can be attached to and not even realize that what we are attached to is what is causing our issues. We have these, when we are attached, we'll have these emotional roller coaster moments, right? Where we're all over the place, or the drastic mood changes. For example, I always use this example because it was a moment for me where all of a sudden the light bulb went off and I was like, I'm attached to something. I was trying to buy a house. I kept looking at houses and I couldn't find anything. And I was just getting more and more upset because, I started making the stories up. I'm never going to find a house. Maybe I don't deserve a nice house. It's impossible. There's nothing out there. And the more I told myself these stories, the more upset I was getting. And as I recognized this, one day I was like, whoa, this is what you're doing. I recognized how powerful our minds are because it's like it has a mind of its own, right? It's telling me all these things, which are actually just making me feel worse, all because I'm attached to whatever story. I'll never find a house. It's impossible. It's not going to work. So with that, I realized I'd stopped trusting the process and trusting that I would be led to where I needed to be. And I do want to note, before I continue on talking about non-attachment, this is so important. When you get this idea, when you really start to understand this at a deep level, you'll start to see all the things you're attached to and how they are actually causing you pain. Not necessarily the situations, but what you're attached to, the thoughts, the beliefs you have that are connected to those situations. So I do want to note that non-attachment is different from detachment. Sometimes people use them interchangeably, but they are not the same. Okay? Detachment means we are emotionally distant. We're numb, unfeeling. We don't care. We're withdrawn. Okay? We're protecting ourselves. We're hiding, right? Non-attachment is letting go of the emotional reactive part. Okay? We still care, but we're not in that deep, desperate, clinging, and grasping kind of energy where we want something so desperately. So if you're upset about something not working, it is highly likely that you are attached to something, a situation, a belief, a want. You want a certain situation, whatever it might be. And I'm going to go through some things in no particular order as usual that we might be attached to and see which ones you might be able to relate to. And I'm sure I've left out so many, but I have a few here. One that we can be attached to is our identity, right? Who we are in terms of maybe our jobs or our relationship, a wife, a husband, I have this certain job or whatever. And our identity to us becomes comfortable. Right? We want to be who we are, right? We're like, for me, right? I was a music teacher forever. Okay, so then I retired from that, and my identity kind of took a little hit. Because I was a teacher forever, just forever, and so it was strange when I let that part go. Now, if I was so attached to that, and that I could feel really badly about it, like, oh, I'm not that person anymore. Who am I? And I might start questioning myself, and it might make me feel badly about myself, that I'm no longer this person I thought I was. So along with that regard, right, if we are really attached to being a mother, and then our kids grow up and they don't need our mothering anymore, it can be really hard to not mother them anymore. They want to be independent, and we're still trying to help them, do things for them. And so we're stuck in that identity, right? We're attached to it. Same thing as a wife. If you get divorced, now you're not a wife anymore. So who are you? I'm a violinist, and I'm going to be retiring after 39 years with the Erie Philharmonic. Who am I if I'm not creating music anymore? I've been playing the violin for over 50 years. Who am I if I'm not playing my violin, right? So the thing is, our identity is these labels, okay? These are labels, really. This identity is not who we really are. That's not who we really are. If we let it go, that identity go, it can be disconcerting and uncomfortable while we get our bearings again. But what will happen is we'll actually strengthen our connection to our soul, to who we really are, the qualities within us that are important. Our purpose is not what we do, but who we are. And by that, I mean, who are we? Are we kind, caring, loving people? That's who we are. So it's not necessarily what we do. However, we do express our soul through what we do, but it's not who we are. Okay, there is a fine point here, right? So actually, is identity and purpose the same thing, right? So there's the answer. That's so funny you asked that. You're on my wavelength, right? So our purpose is not what we do. And this is where humans get confused. People always say to me, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? And if I manage to be able to get this in, I'm like, it's not what you're doing, but how you're doing what you're doing. Who are you when you're doing what you're doing? So it's very interesting to me, right? I love teaching. Teaching is my thing. Teaching and coaching, they go together. I'm teaching people how to live and be their best selves. I love doing that. I could also work at an office and teach somebody how to do a filing system and still feel satisfied with that because I'm still teaching and I'm still helping. So you see the differences that I'm pointing out here? No matter what you do, it's really who you are and how you express yourself. Okay? So another thing we can get attached to, and this is a big one, wanting other people to be different, right? So we're having our happy little family meal, and there's a family member. I always call him an uncle just because. So your uncle's there, and he likes to criticize people. And every year we go to this dinner, and we get mad at him because he's not different. We are attached to the idea that he should be different, and maybe he should be different. Sure, but if we're attached to that idea, we're going to keep getting upset when he keeps saying the same things that you don't like. Okay, that's a sign you're attached. If we are not attached, we'd be like, there he is. There he goes again. That's just him. And then we don't have that emotional reaction. Now, can you see how attachment is causing our emotional reaction? I want you to be different. I want you to do what I want you to do. I want you to be who I want you to be. We don't like when people do that to us, so we shouldn't be doing that to other people either, right? So we want to stop wanting them to be different. Let them be who they are. They are who they are. If you're upset because somebody keeps doing whatever, and you keep getting upset, you are attached to the idea they need to change. So it's up to you to let it go. Use your power, let it go. Another thing we can be attached to is what success looks like. Like, what does success look like? Some people are very much interested in status, right? I am a whatever job they have, and they're very important, right? So status is important. In some ways, for some people, probably not everybody, that status means other people approve of them. Other people like them, admire them, look up to them, and they like that feeling of people, fawning over them. They like that. Having a good job, being attached to a good job, we might also look at it as proof that we are good enough. Oh, I have this job. I must be good enough. Well, what happens if you lose that job? Right? Now you're going to be really in trouble in your mind, right? So we want, it's really interesting. This attachment to what success looks like is kind of like an inflated ego, right? I'm superior, I feel special, I'm worthy, it's proof. And at the same time, some of us can feel like we're an imposter, the imposter syndrome thing. I have this great job. Everybody thinks I know what I'm doing, but inside we don't feel like it. So we want to let go of that. So we have an attachment to other people's approval. And we also have an attachment to believing we really aren't good enough and we're an imposter. So then we want to let go of those things. Okay, I'm just going to check the comments for a second. And if you're just joining in, I'm Colleen Vanderzyden, and we are talking tonight about non-attachment. And then we're going to do some mini readings and all sorts of stuff, answer questions. And if you are on Lily Dale's page and you think you're going to want to ask questions, make a comment, you want to come over here to my page, Colleen Vanderzyden, medium and empowerment coach. Lori Lynn, I love how you always talk about exactly what I need to hear. I find it amazing myself that topics come into my head, they come out of my mouth, and here we are. And people always say, this is exactly what I needed to hear. We are all of us are experiencing the same things. We are all growing and learning at the same time. And these are things that I also am learning more about as well. Yolanda, pretty much over everything. There's a lot going on, isn't there? Zena, unfortunately, sometimes easier said than done, though. And that is true. That is true. However, even knowing that, because we need to make little steps to make changes in our lives. And sometimes as humans, we see, I'm here and I should be here. And it's so far away, it feels overwhelming. So we make little micro steps and we do our thing. But if we know, understand that we are attached to something, that knowing alone is going to be enough to help us start to release these things, to let go of them. Okay, now when I do my Manifest and Amazing 2026 workshop next week, when we do that, we are going to talk about a certain manifestation process that I use myself to create my life, and it is powerful. It is so powerful. And I've been saying to people, where you are right now, December 2025. How is that going for you? Is your life perfect? Is it great? Do you want anything better? Do you want anything different? Do you have a goal or a dream you want to do? I know so many of us, we set our resolutions, right? And then, a week or two into the new year, we're done with it because we weren't intentional about deciding what we really wanted. We didn't come up with a plan of how to get there. And that's what I'm going to do in the Manifest and Amazing 2026 class. And it's related to this idea, right? How do we take these action steps? How do we let go of being attached to these things? The awareness is essential. And then little teeny steps, little steps. We don't need to change everything. And that's another problem with New Year's resolutions. I'm going to lose weight, run a marathon, and become a doctor, something just so like a wish list that has no root in reality, or even something you really want. So we are going to do it differently. So if you're interested in joining us, we'll post the link. Manifest and Amazing 2026. You'll also get the master plan. What is it called? Manifestation Master Plan Workbook. all laid out for you with steps and everything. And you can be live or you can just watch the recording and go through it yourself. It will be well explained and it will work. I'm telling you, I use it and it works. Kate Ann, I have been interviewing for jobs lately and they all ask me what success means to me. To me, it's just meeting my goals, showing my children that I can accomplish what I set out to do despite all the challenges, and being proud of my accomplishments. That's what success means to me. Now, that's a good one to be part of our dreams and goals in terms of success, right? What does it mean? Meeting your goals, doing the things you want to do, taking action, moving forward, showing your children you can accomplish what you set out to do, right? How important is this? And being proud of our accomplishments. So many of us were taught not to be proud of ourselves, not to acknowledge the good things we do. This is beautiful, Kate Ann. I love that, and I hope you get a really awesome job soon. Hi, Jan. Nice to see you. And over it all. Hi, Crystal. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Pablo. Finally over to your live on your page. I think it's awesome you were part of the Philharmonic. Your ongoing example was perfect, right? We all have somebody, right, in the family where we're like, oh, but if that's how they are, we'll just let it go, right? We're just going to let it go and stop being attached to wanting them to be different. No way. Let's see. Lori Lynn, looking forward to the manifesting class next week. Yay, me too. I'm so excited. It's been so much fun organizing the thoughts. Okay, now I'm going to talk about one more thing. Okay. Ashley, I don't know if that link is going to work. It seems to have too many things in it. You might want to double check it. Lynn, I think learning what attachments I have for certain things is what is harder for me than letting go of them. Interesting point. And I will talk about this more in a second, but to consider, anytime we get upset about something not being the way we want it to, we are attached to something. So then we're going to dig a little bit deeper. Okay, we're going to go, okay, what is going on in here? What am I believing? What do I think needs to be? What is it I don't like? Because that'll lead us to what our attachment is, and that will help a lot. Something else that we can be attached to, and I know some of you are going to recognize this and resonate with it, wanting others' approval. Right? I know we have all been brought up to be certain people, to live a certain way. And it has become second nature for so many of us to take care of other people, to meet their expectations, to try to avoid other people's judgments. I talked about that in my newsletter today, to try to avoid other people's judgments. We do this, right? Because we want to be accepted. We want to fit in. We want to belong. We want people to approve of us. So we become people pleasers, right? And if we are upset about something, okay, say for example, I post an amazing video here, a really amazing video, and then only 5 people like it. And I think to myself, oh my gosh, I worked so hard on that. I did such a great job on that. And only 5 people like it. Oh, maybe I'm wasting my time. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. That's being attached to other people's approval. Okay, that's what that can be. And it can be tricky. It can definitely be tricky. Okay, now let's see. Another thing we can be attached to is being right. Right? We all know what that looks like. That's obviously a sign of being closed-minded and probably insecurity as well. We can be attached to that. Another thing we can be attached to is how we look, how our bodies should look, how much we should weigh, etc. We can be attached to that. And then we can feel badly because we're not meeting that mythical model perspective that we see in social media so many times, or in the media. It's getting much better out there now because we have all sorts of different shapes and sizes and bodies, and it's much better than it used to be. But that doesn't mean sometimes we aren't attached to it ourselves, right? I got to lose those last 5 pounds, or whatever it might be. Another thing we can be attached to is wanting life to be the way it used to be. This is a big one, especially after a loss of a job, relationship, somebody passes. We want to just go back to when it was simpler, easier, when whoever was there loving us. We want to do that, and we can get attached to that. And what ends up happening is we're so focused on how we're not having that life anymore. It just creates more and more misery. So it's blocking our peace from coming through. Another one is wanting other people to understand us. So if somebody says something to you and you feel like they're criticizing, what do? You try to explain yourself. You want them to understand you. And sometimes it's just better to let it go. Just let it go. Don't bother. Especially if you've tried to explain yourself before and they're not getting it, and they never have and they never will. Jan says, really got approval at home, so it hasn't really ever been a big thing for me. But yes, still a people pleaser. Don't always know the outcome. I've been a people pleaser my whole life, and I'm getting so much better at it. But it doesn't really work out so well sometimes, because it's just sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it, being a people pleaser, So there's that. Okay, so anyway. Can you relate to any of those? There are so many. I'm pretty sure it's an unending list of things we could be attached to. And when we let go of these attachments, what ends up happening, and it has to be a decision. We have to just say, okay, this is what I'm attached to, and now I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to let it go. And as Zena pointed out, it's not always easy. Sometimes we need to get help. Sometimes we need to have, you could have a coaching session, right? Or you might Google different ways to do things, or take a class, or whatever. So you can do those things. But what happens is as we recognize the attachments and how they're in our way, and we do our best to let them go, our mind will clear. And when our mind clears, we're not having these ups and downs and these emotional reactions all over the place. We'll feel so much more peaceful. And it takes self-awareness, right? We have to be curious about what's behind our emotional reactions. What stories or idea is causing the reaction? What's causing this? And asking ourselves, what are we attached to? Attachment really is all about our ego. We're trying to understand ourselves. It's a sense of self thing. So we want to move into this non-attachment as best we can, using that self-awareness. When we're non-attached, we start to see ourselves differently. We're more than our achievements, more than our so-called successes. We're more than that. We don't get stuck in the not good enough stories. If we're telling ourselves a story, judging ourselves, doubting ourselves, that's a story. We're attached to something. We're attached to the idea we're not good enough. But when we let that go and start moving in a different direction, we're going to feel better, right? We can better handle challenges because we can discern the truth behind things. No matter what is happening around us, we are worthy. We are deserving. We are more than we think we are. We are amazing is what we are. Okay, so non-attachment increases our ability to believe in ourselves, to trust that we know what we need. We don't have to have somebody else tell us, which doesn't mean not getting a coach or a guide at some point to give you some suggestions, things to look at yourself differently. That's what I do in my Courageously You program, right? Help people see themselves differently and that the power they have to change their lives. With the non-attachment, we trust that flow of life, and then we can more easily let go of those emotions. It really is amazing. It's miraculous when we start playing with this idea. As we practice it, right, we are going to learn more about ourselves, which strengthens our power, right? Because we're using our mind, we're being intentional, we're deciding what we're going to believe, we're deciding how we're living, we're making the choices, which is stunning and wonderful. That means you're in your power. When you're in that power, in that non-attachment, now you have information that helps inform your choices. You're making wise choices. And with that, your emotions are not going to be so up and down, and you're going to have more peace and joy. It's just the way it is, right? It helps us adapt and accept life's challenges. So let's say you have a health concern, and it's a big health concern, right? If we are attached to the idea that I want life to be the way it used to be, we're going to have more pain and more suffering. If we are attached to the idea that our health has to be a certain way before we can be happy, we are going to have more pain and suffering. So if instead we look at the situation and go, well, it is what it is, which is not heartless. It's not diminishing or dismissing how serious something might be. It is what it is, right? But we look at it and we go, this is what it is, and I'm going to do the best I can to handle where I am right now. When we wish it's something different, that means we're attached and we're bringing more pain and suffering to us. And we don't want that, especially if we're trying to handle something with health issues, right? We need to keep our energy up and be strong as best we can. And the way to do that is to be accepting of what we have going on, which doesn't mean we necessarily like it, of course. But you understand what I'm saying, right? You getting it? So the next thing, we get free from those extreme emotional reactions. We let go of our labels. Ooh, that's a tricky one, right? We are so attached to our labels, but we let go of those and we stop using them as a measure of our worthiness, which then helps us grow and evolve into living as our soul. And that's what we really want. We might even learn that what we think is the best outcome isn't. Okay, we wanted this, but then it turned out we got it and we really don't want it after all. Or we might also learn that we're not open to allowing life to bring us what we need. If we're attached to a certain outcome, we can't see anything else. It's like we have blinders on, we just can't see. Okay, so we want to go after our dreams and goals and still be open in case something better comes along, right? Key rule of manifestation, right? Okay, so we want to trust that there's something out there for us that's better than even we can imagine, beyond what we even know we want yet, or beyond something we're not even aware of it yet, right? We're not aware yet. So consider this. If you are struggling with something, what are you attached to? Think about it. What are you wanting, what you're not getting? What is causing you pain and suffering? Now, feel free to write some in the comments. In just a few minutes, we are going to be, I'll be answering questions, etc., etc. So make sure you're over here on my page, Colleen Vanderzyden, Medium and Empowerment Coach. Kara, good evening. Your message is spot on tonight. I'm glad it's making sense for you. This is wonderful. So when we let go of these needy wants and desperate desires. Oh, I like that phrase, desperate desires. Truly releasing them, we move into a factual, objective, non-emotional response. We might call it non-reactive, right? We're non-reactive. Something happens, it's like, okay. That's what's happening. Doesn't mean we're not going to have an emotional reaction, of course. The problem, as I always say, is we don't want to get stuck in it. Okay, so I'm going to have an emotional. So say my car, I'll say a meteor falls on my car, right? Okay, so my initial reaction is, oh man, my car is totaled, right? So of course I'm going to have a reaction to that, an emotional reaction. And then in non-reactive, more objective, factual, I'll be like, guess I have to get a new car. Okay. Now, of course, that would be a fun story, and I would be happy to share that story many a time if that actually happened, because it'd be funny in the long run, right? So that's what we want to do. Okay. We want to see that this has happened. We're okay with it after we get past our initial reaction. Okay. It's acceptance. It's not a bad surrender. It's not a I'm giving up, I failed energy. It's not that at all. It's a powerful knowing energy where you know holding on to the attachments is what's blocking your peace, joy, and meaning. Okay, so letting go of that desperation, that clinging, wanting. So just be open, be willing to explore, to question, to learn, and this will definitely help you make a difference in bringing more peace into your life. Absolutely. Okay, now, here's the thing. I'm going to give you the rules, so to speak, for joining in and asking questions. While you do that, I'll explain more about manifestation. Okay, so if you want, you have something going on in your life. Maybe you want to talk about what you're attached to. You know, maybe you think it's this, but you're not really sure. Feel free to ask. Sometimes I can see it a little differently than other people can, just because of my guide, right? So if that's what you want to talk about, you got something going on in your life, you want to discuss, you want a soul reading, whatever you want. The thing to do is to catch my attention, right? Something in the comments that catches my attention. Don't just go, I want a reading, because I'll be like, unless my guide says, let's go there, okay? So while you're doing that, let me talk about what manifestation is. So many of us, we have heard manifesting, right? Manifesting, just list down everything you want and it'll come to you. And it's not exactly that. It is getting clarity on what you want, and it is also, it is putting the energy of what you want with it. It's learning how to prioritize what's most important to you. Okay, you want to prioritize it. So when I do the Manifest an Amazing 2026 class, we are going to be getting clarity on what you really want, what is most important, and the action steps to get there, and letting go of whatever's in your way, the blocks, okay, the mental things, what you're attached to, the beliefs, those things. We're going to do that. If you think you're interested in that class, and the links may or may not be working in the feed, just say you're interested in the Manifest class, or write Manifest class or something like that, and I'll post the link in for you so you can learn more about it. It's going to be Tuesday night, next week, Tuesday. No radio show because I'm going to do this class instead. 8 o'clock, you get the Manifestation Master Plan workbook with it. I will send it to you. You can do it live or you can do the recording. Doesn't make any difference to me. You just do whatever feels right for you. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. And Spirit told me to do this last week. And part of the reason why is I have been getting more clarity on my own goals for next year. And I wanted to have a really big kind of idea of where I'm going and what's most important to me. Making sure there's time for fun, right? Even though we're working all the time. And also protecting my energy so I'm not overwhelmed by some of the energies and things that are happening outside of me. And so Spirit said, you should teach this class. And I went, that's an idea. So it is going to be amazing. I'm telling you already, because this is the process I use to create my life. And my life is so different than it used to be in a much, much better way. So if you think you're interested, just write it down and I'll give you the link, okay? Next week, Tuesday, it's only $27. I mean, my God. Great deal. So anyway, Jade, sorry, I said it really fast. I've been reading your book and I've been trying to stop negative talk about my financial situation. I keep telling myself I open to abundance to flow to me, but I can't stop worrying about it. Okay, this is what you're going to do. Okay, everybody else too. Have you guys ever gotten caught in that loop where your mind, oh my gosh, it just doesn't stop, right? Something happens or you're worried about money. And money is a big thing, right? We worry about money sometimes. So this is what we do. We be persistent, Jade. You're going to be so persistent. I am open to abundance. I would actually change that. Not, I am open to abundance to flow to me. How about I have abundance? Or abundance is flowing to me. Because you want to be, I am open to abundance means you're open to it, but you don't have it. So we want to have the abundance. So I am abundant. Abundance is flowing to me, and is present tense means it is flowing to you right now. Those will be stronger. Yours is good. This just makes it a little tweak to make it a little bit stronger. And every time you start worrying about it, you repeat, abundance is flowing to me. Another technique you can try, Jade, and I love this one. Anytime I have to make a decision and I'm getting stuck up there and I just, you know how it goes. I tell myself I don't have to make a decision. I've mentioned this before, so you may have heard me say it before, but I set another date. So today is, what is today? December 9th. So say I'm worrying about money. I don't have enough money. I'm worried about it. It takes up too much space in my mind. So I go, okay, today's December 9th. I am not going to worry about money until December 17th. I just randomly pick a day. December 17th, that's when I can worry about it. So anytime I start to worry about it again, I go, oh, I'll do that on December 17th. And I just, every time it comes in my head, I do that. What ends up happening is you get so used to setting it aside that your mind, you have more space in your mind and you can handle more things. And then when December 17th comes, you can worry about it. Or you can go, you know what? I don't really want to worry about it. I'm going to wait until December 31st. And then you set a different date. Okay? Because when we worry, it just creates more of it, as you know, right? So we just keep setting a different day down. Okay? And we push it off, right? We don't have to. Worrying doesn't help us. Worrying, as we all know, does not bring us abundance. It brings us more worry, right? So the more we worry, the more we worry. So we want to just be abundance. I am abundance. Abundance is flowing to me. And then just not. So it's a matter of making a commitment and being disciplined with that. So that should help, Jade. Pablo, actually looking on your website for a soul reading, but not sure that is exactly what I need. Going through one of the most difficult situations in my life. You don't have to share details here. And looking for help with my next steps, maybe intuitive coaching. Send me an email. Okay. And I don't have any times listed on my online scheduler right now, but I have been squeezing people in. I don't know that I'll be able to get anybody in before Christmas because my daughter is actually coming down next week early, before Christmas, but possibly January. But if I have time, I'll find one. So send me an email if you want a soul reading or intuitive coaching. The other thing is you might want to come to the Manifest class because I'll be teaching some techniques that can be helpful for these things. And people can also check my Courageously You coaching program. I still have openings. It's in January. Starts in January, and then you get lots and lots of personal attention. Lots and lots and lots of personal attention. Michelle, how do you keep your levels high to manifest when your exhaustion level is higher? Okay, how many people? If I could see you all, raise your hand if you feel like your exhaustion level is higher than your, the rest of you, right? Yeah. And here's, okay. Okay, these are what I do. I'm going to tell you guys what I do when my exhaustion level gets high. My exhaustion level yesterday was ridiculously high. Okay, I was gone all weekend performing, had a great time. It was fun, loved it. But my business email, I could no longer access my business email. It went away from my phone about 13 days ago, and then it went away from my computer 5 days ago. So people are emailing me, people are registering for classes, and I'm not getting the emails. People are asking me questions and I can't respond. And I was like, so I spent a lot of time trying to fix this tech issue. I was on the phone, all sorts of things. So my exhaustion was really bad. I mean, bad. And so, how do I try to manifest? How do I try to get my energy back up? Number one, I acknowledged that I was not feeling at my best. Okay, it's just the way it is. Okay, I'm exhausted. My mind isn't working. And then I just stop it, right? What we do as humans is we try to power through. We try to force it. So I needed to write my newsletter. I like to write it a little bit earlier than the day of. So I started it. I got 4 sentences and then I couldn't do it anymore. My brain wasn't functioning. So I was like, I guess I'm just going to have to do it tomorrow. So I did it this morning. It was fine. It was good enough, right? So acknowledging that our exhaustion is high and honoring it. Don't force, don't control, don't power through. Okay, if you can. I mean, obviously, if you have to do something, it could be a different situation, right? So then the next thing is making sure, and I'm sure you guys have all heard me say this, you do something physical. Okay, don't just sit at your desk. Don't just sit at your chair all the time. Don't just watch TV. Get up, go do something. I actually took a walk outside in the cold today. It's like 9 degrees. It's freezing out there. I took a little walk and it was nice to breathe the fresh air. So do something physical. Another thing, and I've mentioned this before, and I mentioned the things I'm working on now or I'm using now because they're fresh in my mind, is that sense of anticipation. If I am feeling exhausted when I wake up, first thing, right? I'm already exhausted, right? I say to myself, what am I anticipating today? And that builds my excitement, which builds my energy and rebalances it. So the exhaustion goes lower and my anticipation gets it higher for me. And that has been very helpful as well. We all know about sleeping enough and drinking enough water and exercising and all that stuff. We all know about all those things, the self-care stuff. But that's important. Another thing, and then I'll stop talking about this, is setting that intention. Okay, having that intention, whatever it might be. Abundance is flowing to me, whatever it might be. I am love. I am kindness. I am peace. Whatever. I am energetic. One of my goals next year is I want to be more calm and peaceful. I want more peace and I want more energy. Now, you guys are going with my energy. Whoa, don't have any more energy. But it's a different kind of feel, right? I like my peaceful, calm energy. I need more of that, less overwhelm, and I want more energy because I love energy and being in that flow, and that will help. And so that's one of my things that I'm attracting more of. So I hope that helped, Michelle. That was a few things. Okay, Tina says, may I have a soul reading or some guidance as I start my new business? The universe made the choice for me. I'm assuming that you had to change your job, but I'm working hard to trust everything in. And that is a key right there, Tina. Trust. Absolutely trust. It is interesting to me because when I do touch in with you, Tina, I get such a, I don't know how to describe your energy. I feel purposeful. I feel that as you're developing this new business, that you are finding the development of it to be easier than you expected it to be. It feels like you're kind of in the flow. It's like you know what you're doing. You like these things. And I feel like it's flowing for you, which is really awesome if that's the case. And there is that sense of purpose with you. There is also... You do have the energy of not giving up. Okay, you do not give up. No. You will keep going. Okay, and the good way that you do this is that if something comes up, you're willing to adjust. You're not like so focused on something that you can't adjust to circumstances and stuff like that. So you're really good about this. I'm loving this energy that you have. And I also feel, too, with this, that it's like there's this sense of a deeper purpose for you. You must be doing something that's going to be helping people because it feels like you have this strong desire to make a difference. And this, I'm enjoying how this all feels especially because I know it's hard when the universe has made decisions for us and we can have some doubt and stuff, but you're doing the right things, it feels like to me. And it feels like your motivation is pure with that. I love it. And I want to mention, I am seeing colors, and I love when I see colors. And what I'm seeing is green, and I am seeing silver, and they're intertwined and very sparkly. I love my sparkles, and they're very sparkly. And the green to me always means healing, as well as the heart energy, the love energy. They go together in my mind, so the healing and the love. And the silver sparkles always means to me as well a connection, a divine connection, and that information is coming to you. And I'm really liking that flow too. You might try meditating on that, green and silver sparklies, and just kind of feeling it and seeing if guidance comes in, thoughts, intuition, things like that. Play with that, Tina C, and let me know how that goes. Okay. This is Kate Ann. Last few years I have been absolutely stressful, like a curse. LOL, in all seriousness. I have been through such hard times. To meet survival needs, I've been working 2 jobs, going to school, trying my best to be a partner and mom. I really need to work on manifestation. I am really hoping and praying for a break in the bad luck in the coming months. Yeah. Manifestation, another part of manifestation is being in the flow, right? Allowing ourselves to be guided, allowing ourselves to be led, and going to where we want, And there are seasons, we'll say. There are seasons where we go through stuff that's hard, and the good thing, right, is things change and you won't be there forever, okay? And you have been laying the groundwork. That's what you've been doing. You've been laying the groundwork to move into more fully and completely that flow energy. One thing I would adjust in your statement here, hoping and praying for a break in the bad luck in the coming months, would be similarly to what I told Jade about changing the wording that we use for something. Only good things come to me. I like that a lot, actually. Only good things come to me. when we set an intention like that, that's a powerful intention, because we are telling the universe we believe that only good things will come to us. Now, this doesn't mean we're not going to have issues, because we live in a human existence and there are problems and things happen, right? But what it does do is it shifts the balance in our mind, where we're not focused on what's wrong. We'll be more focused on what's right, all the good things that come to me. That will help quite a bit. Yeah, it is crazy though, Katie, Ann, how we can have so many things go wrong. It just gets really, really tiring. So along with this, of course, and more so, and I think I mentioned this maybe in October, how important it is for us all to protect our energy right now. Everybody protect our energy, not just because we have things going on, but our tolerance for stuff has decreased, significantly decreased. We can, like my tech issue, not getting my email. Normally, I'm pretty good about, okay, we'll fix it. And I did pretty well, but then yesterday it was just like overwhelming my brain, right? And then I found the solution as soon as I stopped trying to figure it out. I just Googled and all of a sudden the right thing came up, right? So we want to kind of protect our energy and recognize we can't do as much as we used to do. And where maybe before we have such high expectations for ourselves, well, I can do this and this and this and this, but then we find it's actually too much. So we've got to be really self-aware, checking in with ourselves, making sure we know how far we can go, and making sure we are replenishing our energy and feeding it. So that's really important. Okay, so enough of that. I hope that's helpful, Kate Ann. Zena, I didn't even read the whole thing. I just read the beginning. A lot for me is not having any tolerance with stupidity. So that's why I'm easily reactive. I am drained from everything. Oh, I have met so many people who struggle with stupidity and stupid people, and it's just so irritating, right? But here's the thing. If you know, just what I said earlier, if you know somebody is stupid or does stupid things, just go, that's the way they are. That's just the way they are. And then walk away. Don't let yourself get triggered. Don't listen to them. Whatever it is you've got to do. And again, the energy right now is so intense. We are all easily triggered right now. We really are. Things that, again, we could handle now, we can't do it now. So we're easily triggered. So if you see the stupidity, just go, that's the way they are. And then walk away. Okay, that's protecting your energy. Okay. Yeah. You are welcome, Jade. Lori Lynn, stuck in fear from chronic PTSD, past memories of moving from my safe place. Having a hard time trusting that I will be okay and that God will lead me to where I should be. Well, Lori Lynn, number one, that's perfectly normal, right? Especially if you have chronic PTSD, past memories of moving from your safe place. That's a big change. Right? That's a big change. So we accept that. Okay, we accept that. We are not wishing or being attached to the idea we're going to go back to that feeling. Instead, we're going to do just what you said, except without the hard time part, trusting you'll be okay. I am being led. I am being led to where I need to go, if you want to make it longer. I trust. Make it short. I trust. Every time it comes into your head, just like I talked to with, who was it? I think it was Jade, maybe. Trust. I trust. Yeah. And when we get stuck in fear or any other distressing emotion, right? That's when our brain does that thing again. So we've got to be really deliberate about how we allow our thoughts to go. Sometimes we can't control them. We really can't. Like in the middle of the night, sometimes no, it just doesn't work. So what we want to do is make sure we have a plan to what to do when it happens. So in the middle of the night, when we really have no energy, right? And we're stuck in something. What you might do is what I've heard a lot of people do, which is think of all the people they love and send prayers to them. Send healing to them. Okay. Think of all the good, good memories you have. Do that. Okay. So those are easier to do, especially in the night. So you think about the people you love and you send them love. Easy, right? So otherwise, every time it comes up where the fear comes up, and the PTSD comes up and stuff. You want to acknowledge it, notice where it is in your body. Okay, where do you feel that? What's happening? And then send light to it. It gives you something to do, right? We want to do that. Send light to it. Okay, I'm sending light to that area in my body where whatever shows up. Okay, it gives us something to do, but what it also does, we're using our power to redirect our energy, and the energy is actually changing whatever area it is in the body. So you're doing two very powerful things. Third thing is it breaks your cycle in your brain. It breaks that pattern, breaks that cycle. So 3 things happen when you do that. So that will help. Okay. I will leave that with you for now. Yeah, that was a few things. Kara, I really need to hear this. I've been feeling stuck in a rut, needing to find my spark again, some positive energy. Any thoughts you could share? Thanks. It is interesting. When we feel like we're stuck in a rut, it's because things aren't changing around us at the speed at which we want things to change, or we can't discern what our path forward is. We just don't know. So we feel like we're just doing the same things over and over, which we may very well be doing, right? So we feel like we're really stuck. One thing to remember is that concept that I have of intermission, that when we think nothing is happening, our energy is still working for us, and our energy is setting up the next part for us. So we think we're stuck, but the energy is going, okay, this is what's coming, and we're getting you ready. So during that rut time, you do the same things we've mentioned previously. You take care of yourself, do fun things, protect your energy, make sure you have physical movement, all of those things that I've mentioned. For me, my big belief system is that the more I understand myself, who I really am, and live from that truth, the more I do that, my spark comes back. Okay, so if I'm feeling off, it's like, okay, what makes me feel most like me? And then I do that, whatever it might be. Sometimes it's gardening. Sometimes it's playing my violin. Usually, it's creating or writing something that I'm going to share with you guys, or my newsletter people, or a class I'm going to teach. Whenever I do that, I immediately get back into that flow and I feel like myself again, and my energy shifts. So whatever makes you feel most like you, make a point of doing that. Doesn't have to be a big thing. Okay, you don't have to write a book. Okay, unless that makes you feel most like you. Whatever it might be, do that. That's going to help get your spark back. Okay, because you're acknowledging, you're taking care of yourself. It's going to help. Okay. Okay, and I will again give a little plug for the Manifest an Amazing 2026 class. That'll be happening next week. Again, if you think you might be interested in that, write a note in here and I'll give you the link so you can check it out. It is going to help you get a clear path and a clear plan to your best life, so that a year from now, you look back on 2026, no matter what's happening in the world out there, no matter what's going on out there, okay, that's not our goal. We're not changing the world. We're changing here. You can look back and you can go, wow, that was my best life. That was the best year I've ever had, even with whatever else may have happened. Okay? That's what I want you to have a year from now. And that's what I'm going to have. So if you guys want to join me with that, that's what we're going to do. Okay, good. Yes, definitely reach out, Pablo. Lynn, I've been noticing for me that manifestation isn't so much the words I say, but in the actions I take to try and take the steps to go forward toward a goal. The more I push myself to take steps forward and tell myself that I have it, the more it starts to fulfill itself. Yes, small things, but it kind of spurs me forward more. Absolutely. So manifestation has different parts. We've got our goal, our dream, what it is, the words there. We have the energy that supercharges our dreams and goals, that gets us there, gets us over the humps when we get a little bit doubt or a problem comes up or whatever, right? The energy, we want this and this is what it feels like, gets us over it. And then it is taking those small action steps. And with each step, your power gets stronger and the next one comes and comes and comes. And it definitely fulfills itself. Yes, small things, but right? Because when we see that little success, it's easier to keep going, right? And that's why it's so important for us to do the little micro steps rather than I'm here, but I need to be here. And it's so big, I can't figure out how to get there. It's too much, too hard, whatever. Okay, little steps. Little steps. Sometimes all it is a little Google to get going, right? Feather, I keep getting dreams about digging deeper and releasing emotions. And uncovering hidden aspects. I'm not sure what the next steps are and what to manifest. Okay. Now this is actually very cool. I would interpret this as releasing, obviously, right? Digging deeper, releasing emotions, uncovering hidden aspects. I would interpret this that the universe, your soul, is trying to give you the message that you have the ability to let go of anything that is in your way. Okay, and also that you have aspects of yourself, right? You have these powerful parts of yourself that you may not even yet be aware of. Okay, so your next steps, in my opinion, would be to choose to live as your true self as much as possible, right? Being yourself. Okay, because when we go on an adventure of self-discovery and work on, I hate the word work on, but work on being our true selves, understanding ourselves. When we do this, we learn so much about why we react this way, what our thoughts are, what's in our way. And the value of having talked about the non-attachment tonight is that we can see that so much of what is happening in our lives is we are attached. So what are you manifesting? You are manifesting yourself. This means you're going to take action steps to live in your truth. Action steps to figure out what is your truth. What do you really believe? Who are you? What do you believe to be true? Though that's what we are going to be working on here, I think, for you. Love it. Love it. Catherine, your guidance on anticipation in the mornings has been such a gift. I'm so glad you think so. I am loving it, and it has been so helpful for me to just kind of get me in a positive mindset as I start my day, right? Nice to see you, Michelle. Helping people, Tina. Good. I figured as much. Oh, dear. Crystal, I totaled my car a month ago on my way home from work. I've been through so much the last few months. I just want things to get better. I understand. I do. I understand. It's hard when we have things going on because, again, everything is overwhelming right now. You know, even the strongest people are overwhelmed. And that's just the way it is. So gratitude list. Do a gratitude list, Crystal. Every day. You're grateful for this, for this, for this, for this. We all know that this helps, and yet we don't really do it very much, but it really does help. You know, what are you grateful for? Or you might try the appreciation thing. That really helps too, and anticipation. Tina, good. I'm glad it was accurate. Good. Hi, Virginia. Okay, Zena, you got it. It isn't even related per anyone sometimes. It could be circumstances too. I understand, right? Stupidity is everywhere. Oh, my goodness me. Jan, it feels like February energy. I love your tree in the background. Excited for your class next week. Yes, it's going to be a great class. And remember, the Manifest class, Manifest Amazing 2026, you can take it live or you can do it with the recording and just do it on your own time is fine. And as you're going through, if you have questions, you can always message me and I can see if I can answer your question if you don't do it live. What if I feel lost? I honestly don't know myself anymore. Much of me is lost. Well, you know, so much of what I teach is being yourself, and I don't know if you can swing it, but the Courageously You course that starts in January, it's all about finding out who you are and being your courageous self. In the meantime, the Manifest an Amazing 2026 class is going to have a lot of information there about claiming your power as well. And be living in your power as your truth. So that can help as well too, because it will help you start to get more clarity on who you are, what's in your way, and that will help you have more purpose as you're moving forward. So I would suggest you take that class, whether live or not, because I think it would really help you start to feel more like yourself again. Devin, small things. I hope my patients remember me being kind. That's the only reason I do my job, is for the patient outrage, right? Because it gives you a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment, for sure. You are welcome, Crystal. Hi, Lori. Feather, that's exactly how I'm feeling. I feel like your message and video tonight resonated so much. I will definitely work on manifesting that and being my true self. Happy to give you some help on that and give you some more clarity. Well, here, oh my goodness, look what time it is, 9:03. Woo! Look at me go. I have talked too much yet again, as usual. It's good to know I'm consistent, isn't it? So next week, no show because I'm doing the Manifest an Amazing 2026. I will post the link after. Feel free to join us. Literally only $27. You'll have access to the recording. You'll have the Manifestation Master Plan workbook. You're going to have a plan, a clear path to your best 2026. If you guys know me, if you've seen me enough, you know I'm all about helping people. I'm not one of these people that's like, ooh, I got to make a lot of money. That's not really me. It really is all about helping people. So, and I will never tell you or teach you something I haven't done myself, or that I haven't, well, I've always done everything myself, right, first, and that my coaching clients haven't also experienced the same successes. I will never, ever teach you something without knowing that it works. So if you want to give it a shot and manifest your best life, you should join us because it's going to be really cool and awesome. I'm loving it. Okay, anyway, I have gone on and on again. Let me see if I've missed any comments. So many amazing offerings. I know, right? Okay, the big things, since it is 9:05 and I probably have to stop talking, the big things. I'm going to leave you with this message, okay, because I'm actually not going to see you until the new year unless you join in my class next week on Tuesday night, okay? The biggest things I want to leave you with is, remember, you are more powerful than you think you are. Remember that you are amazing. Remember last week I made you guys write how amazing you were? I think it was last week. You guys are amazing. You are alive at this time to help spread joy, love, and light in this world. Give yourself grace if you're feeling crappy. If you feel like your energy is stuck, give yourself grace. The energy out there is pretty challenging these days, but it is shifting. It is shifting. It's going to get better. It is getting better. So make sure you believe in yourself the best you can, okay? The best you can. Believe in yourself. I believe in you. I can see your soul. I know you're amazing. I know it. It's true because I believe it, so I know it's true. There you go. And if you don't believe yourself, just think about me telling you how much I believe in you, because I know your potential and I can see who you are and what you can achieve here in this physical life. That's one of my gifts. I can see it. So believe it. I'm right. I'm always right. Well, not totally, but in this, I'm right. Okay. Okay, there we are. I guess that's enough. I hope to see you next week on my Manifest an Amazing 2026 class. Also, don't forget to check out the Courageously You course. It starts in January. 8 sessions, lots of personal attention and guidance. It is truly transformative, especially if you're feeling lost and not like yourself. Definitely join us if you can. You'll find it on my website, ColleenVanderzyden.com. You guys have an amazing week. See some of you next week for my class, and I will see you after that in the new year. You have fun. Bye.